is planting sphagnum moss with moors for the future as part of my role at the BMC. So I'm super excited to be here planting the sphagnum moss, and we're going to have a great day despite the flag here in the Goyt Valley. Hi Paul!
Right, 3, 2, 1, go! So today we're in the Goyt Valley and we're planting sphagnum on a re-wetted moor in aid of climate change. Today we're planting 4,800 sphagnum plugs, as you can see. We're covering an area of just over a hectare. So sphagnum moss is the natural moss that should be on this moorland. It's important because it holds 20 times its own weight in water. It's 7 times more rarer than rainforest, and originally all this moorland that you can see around here would have been a sphagnum peatland bog. And sphagnum is the moss that actually creates peat. So peat is made from decaying sphagnum. So over the last 21 years, it's our 21st birthday this year, Moors for the Future has restored over 45 square kilometres of bare peatland. So that is fully eroded bare peatland. We've actually done restoration projects over 250 square kilometres of the Dark Peak and the Southern Pennines. What it's done is avoided the loss of carbon. So we're still in a recovering state over the whole of the 250 kilometres, but what we're doing is actually arresting that loss of carbon that happens every year through basically peatland drying out and peatland being blown into the atmosphere in particulate organ carbon, and by re-wetting this moorland, re-vegetating the moorland and then planting sphagnum on the moorland, we're avoiding the loss of hundreds of thousands, if not millions of tonnes of carbon over the Dark Peak and Southern Pennines. And as that moorland recovers more and becomes a healthy blanket bog, we will then get to a stage where it is actually actively sequestering carbon from the atmosphere. Saving the planet one sphagnum plug at a time.
So first we want to find a nice suitably wet spot without too much vegetation. So yeah, well out here.
Okay, suitably wet.
Clear it back a bit so we've got bare peat. Make an indentation with the pointy stick. Thanks,
your
Kat.
hole.
And then pop in a plug of sphagnum. Push it down around, leave about a third of it out, and then yeah, good to go. On to the next one.
Wow, that's very simple. I'm gonna just dib down and then unwrap my sphagnum. It looks a bit like cress. You know, cress when you made it as a kid. There we go. So it's quite sheltered in there, which is what they said, isn't it? There we go. There it is. Right.
Superb.
Sphagnum. Cool. It's making such a funny noise.
The climate project is it's an umbrella campaign, and we wanted to identify some nature-based solutions to try and tackle the climate crisis that are actually here in the UK. So under the climate project banner there are 2 projects at the moment, and the first is all about this lovely sphagnum moss, So we are supporting the work of Moors for the Future here in the lovely Peak District National Park, and we are getting money to buy sphagnum moss, which is a key part of the whole peatland restoration project. So our peat bogs are incredibly important to the whole carbon sequestration process. A healthy peat bog can sequester and store so much more carbon than, you know, most of the forests across Europe, and that's just for the peat bogs here in the UK alone. And yeah, they're just such a vital resource in the sort of fight against climate change. But unfortunately, a lot of them are not in great state. Acid rain, wildfires, and so on have just ripped the surface of the vegetation off, and actually these peat bogs aren't doing what they should be doing. So the work of Moors for the Future is to try and tackle that and make sure they are in healthy condition and they're nice and boggy and wet, which is what you should expect from a peat bog. And this amazing plant is the final part of that sort of restoration story. We've raised over £80,000 so far, and so yeah, there's obviously a real sort of appetite to give something back to the places that we love, and it isn't just about the carbon story. It is the fact that we're sort of restoring a beautiful landscape, and those landscapes are often in the places that we love visiting, like here in the Peak District. And we've just kind of brought in another project, which is seagrass planting off the north coast of Wales, and that's with the North Wales Wildlife Trust. So yeah, again, we'll be asking members to donate, and that will help us plant seeds, seagrass in sort of brackish water, and they have the same sort of qualities and properties that moss do in terms of, you know, sequestering carbon from the atmosphere. So yeah, we're excited to kind of kick that project off and yeah, ask members to donate. So we're really proud of the climate project because they are projects here in the UK, and they are, you know, they're based on research, and they actually do work in terms of their value to nature and fighting the biodiversity crisis as well as the climate crisis. The charitable arm of the BMC is the Access and Conservation Trust, and they are delivering actual physical sort of conservation improvement projects on the ground. So the climate project is one of those, but then we've also got Mendown Mountains, and there's a whole suite of footpath restoration projects that we're funding currently, from down sort of in the Cotswolds up into the Lake District. We're very much working in partnership with other conservation organisations to get key messages out, and also from a lobbying point of view, working in partnership to just ensure that, you know, that things like the biodiversity crisis are taken seriously politically. We also believe that, you know, kind of access to nature is important, and so having a right to access, I think, will actually promote a better understanding of nature, and that's what we at the BMC is, you know, that's kind of at our core really. You know, you only protect the places or you know, love the places that you understand, and to do that you need to be kind of immersed in them. A little bit of sphagnum and pop it in there. Job's a good one.
So I've planted 2 of these rolls of sphagnum, and now we're just having a spot of lunch. That's better. Have we done a risk assessment for this? You enjoying the day?
Yeah, it's good. Super, thank you. Lovely weather as well.
Yeah. We thought it was going to rain all day, but it's been really nice.
This is literally all we've got left.
Oh,
so
wow.
once we're done, we're done. But be careful around here, as you probably saw when you came down. There's a lot more gullies, and I've lost my foot twice.
So we have basically around sort of like 250 volunteers who are like dedicated to doing like committee work and kind of like helping the BMC run as an organisation, and they're sort of like more long-term roles. But I think if you like counted all the people who volunteer in an ad hoc way and like throughout the year. Like there's probably around like 500 to 700 people who like engage with BMC volunteering in one way or another. It means that like we can actually like through like the power of people like get people out on the like hills and get people doing things like planting sphagnum, like restoring the paths and basically helping to keep the place where we love to walk and climb, keep it beautiful and keep it alive. All of our events and stuff are up on either Volontero or on our Eventbrite. You'll find them on our website, and just come along. Everyone's really friendly, like don't be scared, and I think, you know, if you do feel like you're a bit worried, just like drop us a message and get in touch, and we'll be able to put you in touch with like someone else who's like been volunteering for a long time and who can make you feel more comfortable. Everyone's super friendly and it's always going to be a good day out.
Yay! That was excellent.
Good job.
Thank you. It's a wrap, folks. We've planted 4,800 bits of sphagnum into this lovely moorland, and now we are going to return home. Thank you for watching, and if you want to volunteer for any of Moors for the Future or any of the BMC's climate projects, then see the links in the film description below.
Overall, we're putting in 700,000. So that's a big number, but that's happening not in one day, it's happening over 2 years. So coming in and doing 5,000 in one day is really incredibly helpful. So thank you very much for that.
So far this season, we've gone home with growth in the plant. This is the first time we've ever planted everything, so thank you very much.
So what you're saying is we're the best.
How important is it for you to come out and be there on the ground doing this kind of thing?
Well, I think it's really good for our projects for the future. You know, we're working in all areas from access, conservation, sustainability, and you know, we want to partner with these organisations for the future and part of our climate project. So it's really important and good for staff, and we're connecting with these organisations to make a difference for the future. I'm very happy to be in the role, and it's an absolute privilege. I feel the weight of the organisation and the people, you know, and I want to be here to support, build the organisation, and put members first in everything that we're doing. So yeah, absolute privilege. And yeah, an old coach said to me, Paul, take care of the BMC, and I will do my best to do that.